You're listening to Sundust, short horror stories. Tonight we descend into the coal black hollows of Norton, Virginia, where the mountains swallow light and the dead keep their own quiet watch. This is the bell at Laurel Grove. Laurel Grove Cemetery clings to the edge of an old coal haul road, boxed in by second-growth forest and the kind of silence that presses against your eardrums. The oldest markers date to the 1890s, rough sandstone slabs for miners who never saw daylight again. Names weathered to ghosts: Harlan, McCoy, Ramsey. One plot sits higher on the knoll, alone under a lightning-struck oak whose branches twist like broken fingers. The stone reads only S.H. Beside it, a rusted iron post rises from the earth. At its top hangs a small brass bell, green with age, the clapper dark as old blood. Back when coal was king and cave-ins were common, some families paid extra for safety coffins. A cord ran from the dead man's hand up through the lid to ring that bell if, God forbid, he woke in the dark 6 feet under. Doctors miscalled catalepsy or coma too often in those days. Miners especially feared it. The black lung stole breath slow, but what if it only seemed to stop? The records insist S.H.'s bell never rang. The hills remember different. In the spring of 1921, the Powell River jumped its banks after 3 days of biblical rain. Flash flood turned the valley to red slurry. Dozens of fresh graves washed open, bodies tumbled downstream like broken dolls. Old man Whitaker, the night watchman, then swore he heard it through the downpour, faint, insistent clanging from the knoll. Not wind chimes, not loose metal. A deliberate toll, once, twice, pause again, like a man counting heartbeats to stay sane. They dug at first light, found the coffin undisturbed, lid still sealed, but the cord lay coiled on the dirt, twitching once, slow, as though whatever was below had just let go. Years passed. The bell stayed silent, mostly teenagers turned it into a rite. Spend the witching hour with your palm flat on the iron post, ear to the ground. Most heard only crickets in their own pulse. But some came back changed. One boy in '68 claimed he felt a post hum under his hand, like machinery starting far underground, then tapping slow, deliberate. Tap, tap, tap. Like Morse spelling a name he couldn't quite catch. He ran. Never spoke of it again. In 2019, a local podcaster named Redacted hiked up with a digital recorder and a full battery, chasing authentic Appalachian EP. He set the device beside the grave at dusk and left it till dawn. Playback was clean until 3:07 a.m. A single clear chime. He froze the waveform, leaned into his headphones. Hear that? He whispered to the mic, a beat. Then a voice, not his, whispered back, soft and close, yes. The file corrupted mid-second. His laptop blue screened. When it rebooted, a new folder had appeared on the desktop. S.H. Inside, 143-second clip, just breathing. Deep, wet, patient, like lungs working after a long shutdown. People still visit. Coins glint on the stone, caustic flowers bleach in the rain. A few leave notes, apologies, questions, please. One girl last autumn reached to touch the bell itself. She says her fingers went numb to the bone. In that instant she heard it. Not above ground, but below, the distant clink-clink of pickaxes in a tunnel that shouldn't exist anymore. Echoes of men who never made it out in 1912. She dropped to her knees and hasn't returned. Locals shrug when you ask graveyards peaceful. They say long as you don't linger after dark. But if the air goes dead still and you hear that faint single toll, don't answer. Don't even breathe loud, because someone already did. and the rope is still tied to a hand that hasn't stopped pulling. You've been listening to Sundust Short Horror Stories. If the hills of Norton just raise the hair on your neck, drop a comment, smash that like, subscribe for more tales carved from Appalachian midnight. Until next time, when you walk among the graves, keep your hands in your pockets and never touch the bells. You've been listening to Sundust Short Horror Stories. If the hills of Norton just raise the hair on your neck, drop a comment, smash that like, subscribe for more tales carved from Appalachian midnight. Until next time, when you walk among the graves, keep your hands in your pockets and never touch the bells.